camera. But in the broadcast, 2K was already there until 2006. So we start with heavy stuff, premium media, and then try to analyze the video and then to be easily searched. So we apply the same AI, but back then, we don't worry about the computing power because everything is on the data center, right? So we use big computers on the back end. So analyze the high resolution and even 8K media, try to find actor, actress, and then what is where and stuff like that, and then find very, very precise the frame. But once we go to the surveillance industry, it's completely different because right now, billions camera out there. So our dream is to see, okay, if we have a billion cameras out there, but can it connect it to all the computing power such that we can see whatever in there? So for example, if we have 2 cameras over here from 2 angles, and then we can see probably more than 100 people sitting here, and then we can see the gender, age, races, and then probably someone we already know in the media, but also we see how many people sitting there for how long, and then drill, and then which part is the favorite place everybody sit, how many people stand there, and then how long they stand there, right? So it's the same scenario you can use in the office, you can use in the retail, you can use in the stadium, even the shopping mall. But if we take another step back, how about this 2 camera we can see from the front door, say, okay, zoom in, and then 1080p is there. If someone we want to know, we wanted to watch it, for example, a terrorism or a VIP come in, and then the system get an alert, and you got to notice, and you shoot this guy, hey, it's here. So something like that, and then, so everything the camera can see, we want to get the data out. So this kind of a data, in the morning, I think the keynote speech from the Intel executive talking about the data centric. So to us, AI is not algorithm. AI is a new set of data. So what kind of new set of data? In the past, it's a video stream. So everybody has a video camera connected to NVR, VMS, you see a lot of video stream. How about let's have a 10,000 camera at a space, and then how are you gonna watch it? You're not gonna be able to watch it, right? But how about this 10,000 camera can get all the data out? So whatever you want how many people in, you want how many people walk in that direction. In the train station, you want to know how many people staying in the platform, if the train's coming, if anybody jump on the train or stuff like that, right? So all those stuff is what the video already show, but can you get those data out of it and then into the database such that you can get alert, you can get real time, you can get offline, you can cross the camera, you can track the people, you can track the vehicle, you can see the live stream, you can see whatever. So anything in the video, and you can get data out. So that we define as AI. So AI is a new set of data generation from different computing power. So the problem come up. We have 1 billion cameras there, and then start every year to have medium camera or lenses delivered in the market. So today, a simple lens costs you $3. A full scope 1080p white label probably costs you $100, right? But what can you get from there? It's not only video. You can get a lot of data, regardless where you put it, and then put in the database, integrate with your legacy system, your ERP, your CRM, your HRM, whatever you have. You have shop floor control, whatever you have, right? So how do we get those data in? That's where the AI come in. And then the challenge coming out, how do we work with the platform like AI, right? Hardware platform, because it's not going to be the same way as before. In the last 40 years, the IoT, the ICT industry started from chipset, then the board, the chassis, OS, database, programming language, then application, then the end user. But it's not going to be that anymore for the new set of data because camera is there. You just connect it and data should be output. You don't write anything, the system come out and then give you the data, system integrator get it, and then integrate into the legacy system. This is the new set of data that's coming out. So if that's the case, then the only problem is, can we get those cameras connected to the different CPU or different computing platform such that it can generate the data in a very, very cost-effective way, but not very heavy way? So 2 questions come out when we get this problem 10 years ago. So do we have to send all the video back to the cloud, back to the server? Who's going to pay for it? It's going to be very expensive, right? 460 is fine, 1080p is really, really heavy. 2K is much, much more. So who's going to pay all this money to send all this to the cloud to do AI? It's impossible. Nobody's going to pay for it. That's the first question. Second, who's going to take care of the data security, privacy, everything? Nobody gonna do that. So the only problem is, can we solve the edge computing and then such that we can do it at say edge and then get the cameras stuff resolved, only send the data stream instead of the video stream. So that's where we guerrilla and then work with Intel and then cross the entire platform of the Intel x86. And then we added the VPU, Movidas, and then GPU and everything using OpenVINO, one single platform, consistent architecture, and then we can drive whatever I wanted, right? So I can drive today, if you have only one camera, I can use Atom. If you have two cameras, add Movidas. If you have, say you got an IPC already, i7, and then you got a 16 cameras to connect, no problem. Add a car with 8 Movidas, finish. It's very cheap. It's very easy, right? It's like that. All right, so you can come to the booth. My booth is 708, and you can see right on. Aeon is one of our partner. We do a lot of different partner using, as long as it's an Intel chip. It's not, I don't like NVIDIA, no. I like NVIDIA, so when it's coming to use, if it is on the data center because it generates a lot of heat, it is very costly, but of course the performance, their computing power is good. But at the same time, we have to look into what is the use case, what does the customer wanted, right? Because they have a camera already in place, and they continuously shipping the camera. How do we use that camera? So my philosophy is very easy. Leverage existing infrastructure as today, regardless of computing power, storage, or the camera, the network, bandwidth. You don't want to rebuild the whole infrastructure such that customer can enjoy the AI afterward. You can enjoy it today. And then just use whatever you have, add it on whatever you wanted, and then the software piece and the computing power piece. That's it. So come to visit us. We're open to matching the partner as today's IPC Intel Partner Connect. So hope to see you there. We'd be delighted to answer any questions. And then, again, that is not a science fiction. That is the stuff we've been using, and then already on a lot of reference case from countrywide to city to retail, shopping mall, to office, you name it. So my team can share all the experience, and we'd love to have a matchmaking with you. Thank you. The inference, which means can get the signal out into the data from the video, that's where the inference engine is, right? So we definitely believe that has to be on the edge. So that's why we co-developed with Intel R&D, and then to look into the libraries and drivers and all kinds of stuff. So before OpenVINO was launched, we started working with them, and then target only I-core. So we target i7. At the beginning, we use i7. I can generate already, because we started HAI a couple years ago, start from 2014, 2015. And then we looked into how to use the CPU instead of GPU to do the AI. And then we developed optimization network for customized network. It's not open source, it's not OpenCV, it's not a kind of a commodity. And then we dedicate into different application, different scenario, and then for people's, vehicles, and object, and behavior, and statistic. So we developed more than 38 different algorithms. Until now, we continue to grow that. But the problem is, how can we leverage the CPU power to do different things? Because different algorithms are going to require different computing power. So that's how we started. And then we work with the Intel team to optimize the whole platform on the back end, so we can fully leverage the Intel computing power across x86 from Atom all the way to Xeon, of course including the I-core. Then we start looking into how can we bring in the Movidas and FPGA in, and then using the same platform. And last April, before OpenVINO was launched, that was in June. Then we already use the i7. We can bring the 6-channel live video into AI, which means do object tracking, people recognition, facial recognition, vehicle recognition, that kind of stuff, using one i7 core. Then we use that and to compare to what we've been using on the NVIDIA GPU on that. So it's like 50% computing power more than what we use GPU. Then by end of last year, we already use the Allen CPU plus 1 movie is cheap. I can run 2 live video stream with object tracking and then that kind of stuff. So which is probably 200 times more performance than before. Then we used i7 plus the other 8 Allen core. Then we can run about 16 to even more than that. So it's about 150% more. And then we use FPGA, and then working with the team, and then to continuously develop how to use the OpenVINO to outperform what we think it should be done. Because we definitely believe when AI goes to the world and then goes to the life, I think the first thing the customer is going to consider is cost performance. It's not what AI can do to me, right? AI can do, like I said, it's a data generation, but you have to use very cost-effective computing power instead of using the big high-performance computing. Doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's what we can keep doing with Intel and using OpenVINO. So our expectation and their R&D expectation is the same, is using one OpenVINO platform such that it can drive all the CPU, all the GPU, all the VPU, whatever. And then so whenever Ira's been talking about a new CPU, new architecture come out, we don't have to redo it again. So we just fully leverage that. If they can give me more on the back end, so I can drive more on the AI. So that's our experience. So pretty much in the last 1 year, we continue to grow the cost performance on analytic. Of course, it's double side. One is on OpenVINO, drive the CPU computing power and library. Another one is how do we optimize in the network? How do I optimize the AI algorithms such that it can be fully optimized in the 2 different layers? So in the future, I think it will be a hardware plus a software combination, so can land the AI into the world. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Koh.